Hi everyone, welcome back to another week on the Brush by Brandy YouTube channel. My name is Brandy and this week we are going to be making over this little side table that is behind me. I don't want to show you guys too much, but I'm going to give you a little sneak peek because it has something special on it right there. So this was a really cute little side table, and if you guys haven't heard, Wrought Paint just came out with a new line of paints in their 1 hour enamel collection, and this is called the Luxury Earth collection. It's a beautiful collection of 7 colors that are inspired by nature, very earthy. And the one I'm going to be using this week is this beautiful charcoal gray, and we're going to set it off with a little bit of gold. So this is a pretty quick makeover. I got this one done in 1 day, but it's absolutely stunning. I'm thrilled with it. This paint is super smooth and luxurious. We're going to be spraying it today, but I also have another video coming out this week that's going to show you how to brush on this same product. It brushes and sprays beautifully. So you guys stick around. Let's get started. Here's where I started on this cute little nightstand. Overall, it's in really good condition, no problems with it, no repairs that I need to do. So I started off by giving this one a really good cleaning, and then I gave it a scuff sanding because it does have a sort of glossy finish on it. I don't usually pick up a lot of single nightstands, but my goal is I think I can find something else that's similar and make this a sort of asymmetrical pair. Once my piece was nice and clean, I went ahead and put on a coat of Wrought primer in light gray, and that's just going to help give my paint something to bite onto. I'm going to be spraying my paint today, and that's because I'm using Wrought 1 hour enamel and it sprays absolutely beautiful. So I want to take advantage of that. I'm going to be using my Apollo sprayer. I went ahead and strained my paint to make sure it runs through my sprayer nice and smoothly. I do like to dilute this just ever so slightly, but you never want to dilute this paint any more than 10%. We are spraying this paint today, but I do have a video coming later this week where we're going to brush it on too. Either way, it goes on beautifully. With my sprayer loaded, I tested my spray on cardboard before I start on my pieces. I went ahead and pulled out a few pieces that I all want to be in this color. This first one is a bird cage that I got that's in yellow. I thought what better color for a bird cage than wrought iron. Now I'm going to move on to my nightstand, and I'm just going to give it a thin, even coat. I hold my gun about 8 to 10 inches away from my piece, just overlapping on each pass slightly, giving thin, even coats. This will need a second coat, so I'll come back and do that after this coat has dried. 1 hour enamel is a nice durable paint, but it goes through a sprayer really nicely. It's going to dry to a satin finish, so I have no need to top coat this once it's done. This is one of the few all-in-one paints that I actually really stand behind that it really doesn't need a top coat. The Apollo sprayer gets really minimal overspray. That's one thing I love about this sprayer is I don't waste a lot of paint on it. Now the bird cage did take a little bit extra paint because it's got all the slats on it, so a lot of paint went through that. But overall, not a lot of paint was used on this. I want to say I probably only used about 8 ounces. I let this coat dry, and then I came back and gave it a second coat, sprayed, and this piece was done. But I want to add something to sort of spice up this solid gray finish, and I'm going to do that with the hardware. I'm going to make some statement hardware. I'm going to use this new mold from Redesign with Prima, and I'm going to pour it using amazing casting resin. When I first poured this mold, I was playing around with different colors of mica powder, so you're going to notice that my mold comes out a different color than my final version, and that's all. I was just experimenting a little while I was pouring molds. This is 10-minute casting resin, so once I pour it into the mold, I step back and wait about 10 minutes, and then I can come back and pop it out, and it pops out with a completed mold. I can already tell this is going to be one of my favorite molds to use, and for exactly the reason I'm going to be using it for today, and that is I can make some statement hardware with it. Yep, this is going to be my hardware back. So like I said, my mold did come out blue, but I actually want this to be gold, a nice bright metallic gold. And so I chose this metallic spray paint, and I'm going to give it 2 coats of the gold. Here is my mold after my paint is complete. It's completely gorgeous, you guys. I went ahead and drilled out the center, and now I'm going to add this piece of hardware that I got from Hobby Lobby. My inspiration here was that the center of this hardware would look like the stamen of the flower, and I think it turned out perfect. With this little touch of gold, I also decided to add some gold dipped feet. I taped off about 1.5 inches on the bottom of these legs, and then I hit it with my same gold spray paint. When I pulled this tape away, I had a nice touch of gold just at the bottom of this feet that tied in with the hardware. I staged this with a simple vase of flowers and some modern art, and this piece is complete. I love the hint of gold against this gray body. This paint is absolutely beautiful. It's got the best subtle sheen. This one-day makeover is complete. What do you guys think? As always, you can find links for everything I used in the description for this post. You can find more Brush by Brandy on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and YouTube, and on my website at brushbybrandy.com. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe for more painting tutorials at Brush by Brandy.